we have been looking into since yesterday is handling domestic violence. Today is the second day of the program. We started this teaching yesterday. And for those of you that joined the teaching, God bless you. And if today is your first time of coming across the video, you need to go and watch the first video concerning this teaching, handling domestic violence. I did it on the 14th of February, 2026. So you can go and watch it so that you can actually understand better where we are starting from here. So anywhere you are watching from, anywhere you are joining from, God bless you. Are you watching from Europe, America, Asia, any part of the Africa? You are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. As you are joining, please do well help me subscribe. If you have not been following this channel, you have not subscribed to this channel, do well subscribe to this channel. As you subscribe, don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that you will always be notified whenever we upload our videos. Please do well hit the subscribing button now. So we started this series yesterday, domestic violence, handling domestic violence, because a lot of homes is a kind of what is trending, in as much as a lot of people are unable to speak out. Some people are hiding it, even those in church. They don't know how to say it because it's kind of shameful. People are shy to say, my husband is bullying me, my wife is bullying me. More especially, families that have protracted, they have shown people that, my marriage is the best. So the moment they begin to go through turbulent times in their home, they don't know how to speak out. They don't know how to tell people, this is actually what I'm going through. Because they have shown everybody perfection that our marriage is sweet. So they don't know how to come out to tell the same people they have told that our marriage is sweet, that, this is not true. Look at what I'm going through. So this program will help each and every one of us in our marriages. And I also want you to understand that domestic violence has nothing to do with now. There are people that are not expressing domestic violence, but later on, they will experience it. It's not our prayer. But I want you to understand that case of marriage is quite somehow. You can't predict it. There are couples that are not experiencing it now, but later on, they might experience it. And apart from that, yesterday, for those of you that joined us yesterday, I highlighted some of the things. I highlighted examples of domestic violence from our previous teaching yesterday, which I made mention of physical abuse. I talk about financial and economic abuse, sexual abuse, tech abuse, different kinds of abuse, because a lot of people think that domestic violence is only talking about boxing, is only talking about beating. And I said yesterday, while I was trying to establish this topic, I said that domestic violence is not only physical abuse, is not only beating. I took my time to explain different kinds of domestic violence, which I even said I talked about emotional, yes. I also mentioned emotional abuse. And this particular emotional abuse, a lot of people are going through emotional abuse. And I established the fact that emotional abuse is too draining. This is the one that a lot of people are finding themselves into, and they can't actually talk about it. Emotional abuse is that one that nobody is beating you, but you are crying every day. Your partner, your spouse is not beating you, but you are getting drained. Emotional abuse is that kind of abuse that you don't know who to talk to. You don't know who to relate to. Maybe in the face of people, you present it like, we are good, we are fine, because you don't want the outsiders to know this is what you are going through your marriage, which is true, which is good, because marriage is not something you start bringing, coming to public, letting everybody know this is what I'm going through, this is what I'm going through. Before people comes to public and begin to tell you what they're going through, it's already out of hand. Everybody is trying to protest something. Yes, every marriage has issues. So everybody is trying to protest something. So yesterday I said that emotional abuse is the worst kind of abuse. A lot of people are going through it. You say domestic violence. My marriage, there is nothing like domestic violence. Before you said there is nothing like domestic violence, I hope you are not going through emotional abuse. It's a part of domestic violence. Please, if today is your first time of coming across my video, you have not been following, you have not subscribed to this channel, please do well subscribe to this channel. We have a lot of videos that will liberate you. We have a lot of videos on this channel that will help your relationship, help your marriage. If you are a divorcee, there is video for you. You are single, there is video for you. You are married, anything relationship, you will benefit from this channel. So if you have not been following our channel, do well, subscribe now. And don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that you will always be notified whenever we upload our videos. So yesterday, I talked about different kinds of emotion, and I didn't stop there. I also talked about causes of domestic violence, because yesterday I said, in as much as the theme of this program is handling domestic violence, you can't start talking about handling domestic violence without first of all understanding what is this domestic violence all about. Understand the example of it, what it looks like, the cause of it. Then you can move into talking about how to handle it, what you can do to prevent it from coming or stepping into your home. But if it is already existing in your home, then what can you do? That is what we want to look into today. How can you avoid or prevent domestic violence in your relationship, in your marriage? Maybe there is no domestic violence already. You want to prevent it. If there is domestic violence already, how can you actually come out of it? This is what we want to talk about today. So yesterday, I did justice in that domestic violence. And anyone that is coming across my video, I want you to pay attention. Whenever we are mentioning domestic violence, don't always say that it's fighting. No. Emotions can be abused. Emotions can be violated. So they are also grouped or classified into domestic violence. And permit me to say, there is a particular statement in my little journey in relationship and marriage matters, all this stuff. I do tell people that whenever your marriage, you begin to experience domestic violence, leave your home. There is something I want to bring here. Leave your home, and I do tell people, it's not that when you experience little thing, you leave your home. No. Domestic violence, we do advise people as relationship experts. We do advise people to leave their home. It's mostly domestic violence that has to do with fights. That is physical domestic violence. Physical. The one that has to do with fighting. To avoid somebody killing each other. So instead of one will kill another, it is better they separate or they divorce. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So let somebody not come tomorrow and tell you, once your marriage is experiencing domestic violence, carry your bag and leave your home. No. For you to leave your home in domestic violence, it has to be or involve physical abuse. Physical abuse in the sense of fighting, boxing. But if it's something that has to do with emotional abuse, that is why I said that is the most dangerous one. Emotional abuse. If it has to do with emotional abuse, your partner can actually say, I'm not beating you, but your partner is beating you emotionally. Then if it happens to be emotional abuse, you need intelligence. You need intelligence to be able to navigate that emotional abuse. Yes. And which yesterday, that's why I said you can go back to the video of yesterday. You will learn a lot in that video. So yesterday, while I was handling emotional abuse, I made mention on some of the things that can help you. Yes, maybe you are even some people, abuse their partners, unknown to them that this is emotional abuse, unknown to them that it is domestic violence. They just say, I'm not beating her, I'm not beating him. So they don't know that maybe the character, the way they are treating their partner can actually be domestic violence. But classified under emotional. You are not beating the person, but you don't take care of the person. You are not beating the person. You are a married man. You have kids in the house. You don't take care of your wife. You don't take care of your children. You don't care whether they are schooling or not. You don't care. And the woman will be shouting, crying, complaining. You don't care. That is emotional abuse you are giving to your wife. Or you are a man, you have a side chick, and you keep moving around with ladies to a point that your wife have to dictate, my husband have side chick, this is my husband's side chick. And your wife said, my husband, I don't like this. You should be able to know that the moment your wife discover that you have a side chick, or your husband discover that you have a side cock, right? Your husband discover that you have another man outside him. Or your husband discover that your wife discover you have another woman outside him, you should be able to know that emotionally they will be affected. So for the fact that your husband is aware that I'm not the only husband marrying you, I'm not the only man entering that place, going out and coming in, the man have already known. It has a way of destabilizing that man emotionally. So it's also in domestic violence. I want you to understand. So the same way, if you're a man, you are moving around with different ladies and your wife get to know, because she's handicapped, she don't know what to do next. Even she will talk to you, you say go and sit down. Don't you know men are polygamous in nature? You know, you try to silence her, you try to silence that thing which she is saying. The more you keep doing it, that is domestic violence, but it is classified or grouped under emotional abuse. So go back to that video I made yesterday. I took my time to explain all these things. I'm just trying to do a review because of some other people before I go over to the one we have today properly. How can I prevent this domestic violence? Also yesterday, I talked about causes of domestic violence, which I mentioned them. We have anger management issue. I'm not going back to them. We have jealousy. We have low self-esteem. We have feeling inferior, cultural beliefs. I made mention of cultural belief yesterday, more especially in Africa. That has to do with Africa. Causes of domestic violence. That has to do with Africa mostly, because most Africans will be like, I am the man of the house. This is the way we do it in my place. They are not considering how their wife feel. They are not considering all that is because culture, this is their culture. This is the way we do it. Or a woman is being married into a family because she's coming from a different background. So there's certain things she wants her husband to do. Or not to her that where she's married to, that is not the culture. So the moment she's trying to bend the husband to do it their way, it becomes an issue. So I took my time to explain cultural beliefs, that how it affects people, how it causes domestic violence. I also took my time yesterday to explain personality disorder or physiological disorder. I explained these things yesterday. Go to that video, you see it. I also talked about learned behavior from growing up in a family where domestic violence is a norm. I explained those things, that this domestic violence, a lot of people don't even know that there is a bad thing. But because of the kind of family where they are coming from, this family, maybe they do see their father beating their mother. They started growing as children. So if a man, the wife talks to him anyhow, he can slap the wife. So the sons are copying it. That if I marry tomorrow and my wife talks to me anyhow, I will slap her. That is how my father used to slap my mother. Nobody told them this is wrong. In fact, children, they learn from action. As you are doing as a parent, as you are behaving, your children are copying from you. So some of this domestic violence is caused by upbringing, family background. Upbringing, family background, where people are coming from. What they see their parents doing, or in a family whereby the wife does not respect the husband. The wife does not. So the daughters will grow up, as they are growing, they are looking at their mother. Oh, okay, this is the way you talk to men. Oh, so when they now marry, when they move into their own husband's house, they begin to practicalize what they saw their mother doing. They begin to practice it. So this is some of where all this domestic violence. Some people are not doing it because they are wicked. No, but upbringing matters a lot. That is why I always tell people, you know, Maurice, I don't know for other places, but Africa, I know where I came from. I know that we are much more focused in training up the girl child more than we focus in training up the boy child. We are much focused on sending the girl child to the kitchen to learn how to cook, but we are not careful to tell the same boy child to also go to kitchen and learn how to do domestic chores. We are only focused on the girl child. Sweep, bend down and sweep. You are a lady. You will marry tomorrow. And those things are good. But why we are focusing on training a girl child to be homely? Parents should also start training their boy child to be homely too. So while you are teaching the girl child respect, you should also focus in teaching the boy child respect. Do you know the danger if you are focusing in teaching the girl child respect and you are not teaching your boy child? The girl child will go tomorrow and somebody will come and marry her. What if eventually the person that is coming to marry her didn't have a home training? The man, nobody trained him because probably his own mother was busy training the sisters without training him. And this young man grew up only to go and marry someone that is coming from a well-trained family. Now you marry somebody that have been trained, but nobody trained you. What do you think that will happen in that marriage? There will be catastrophe. There will be issue, because the man in question, when he was the boy child, the parents never gave him the due training he's supposed to undergo. They probably were focusing on the daughters. That is the issue. A lot of parents you see, come to families, they will tell the lady, wash plate, sweep, go to market, do this one, do the other one, but nobody is telling the boy child. And you forget that that boy child is going to grow and marry somebody tomorrow. That is where all these issues are coming from. So while we are training our girl child, we should also train our boy child, because they will become somebody's husband tomorrow. Why you don't want your daughter to disgrace you in a man's house? You should be able to train your son so that your son will not end up bullying somebody's daughter tomorrow. That is where all these things are coming from. I think parents should start doing things rightfully, because we are talking about handling domestic violence. Because I'm already stepping into summarizing, because I started the teaching yesterday. So you can't talk about handling domestic violence without talking about parental upbringing, the way parents train their children. It is very, very important, because we can't just talk about stop domestic violence, handle domestic violence, without addressing the fact that a lot of parents are not doing their work. A lot of parents are not doing their duties. Yes. Sorry to say it, you see a young lady on the road, on the street, naked, but she has a mother. It is the duty of the mother to caution her. This particular thing, you are naked. It's not good for you. But you see some parents, they will see their daughter being naked. When I mean naked, like the one I saw while coming back from church today. Very naked. And you look at the girl is still a teenager. It's not that she's fully adult. She's still a teenager. And when you look at this lady, you know that this girl supposed to be under a parent by now. And you look at what she's wearing, you now begin to ask yourself, does this girl actually have a mother? Now imagine that the mother of this child is not doing her work. It might not only be in her dressing. Maybe she's not receiving home training of respecting a man. Yes. Maybe the mother is not teaching her, you have to respect a man. You have to respect your husband. And this kind of teaching, because she's still in the family, she's still with the parents. The only way you teach her to respect man is by respecting the brothers in the house. Some parents neglect it. Your daughter is behaving somehow in the house. No respect. You don't teach your daughter how to respect the brothers. Because it's from teaching her how to respect the brothers, she will now know that there is something that is called respecting a man. The same way the young boys, you have boys in the house as your sons. You don't teach them how to respect their sisters. Now, as you are not teaching your sons how to respect their sister, how do you think they will marry tomorrow? They will respect their wife. So when we talk about handling domestic violence, parents should do more in training up their children, so that you don't end up. Some parents don't end up training a lady well, and the lady eventually end up in a wrong hand, in the hand of a wrong tailor. When you give your clothes to a wrong tailor, what do you expect? No matter how costly that cloth is, for the fact that you handed that cloth to a wrong tailor, the wrong tailor will spoil the cloth for you. That is it. That is what is happening. And let me tell you something. You see, domestic violence has a stigma. It has a brain damage. I want people to understand this thing. See, domestic violence, be it physical, be it abusive, be it sexual, in any way you classify it, for the fact that it is under domestic violence or abuse, I want you to understand that it has a brain damage to the one that is being affected, not the one doing it. If it has to do with emotion, it will get to a point that you will begin to lose your self-esteem. It will get to a point, your brain will no longer be articulative. You will no longer be able to reason well. In fact, for the fact that you have been in that situation for too long, you will begin to adapt, because you want your marriage to work. It is easy for those in relationship, because if you begin to see things that you don't like, what do? You tell Oga, this thing will not work, or this marriage will not work. Sister, I thought that this marriage would have worked, but from the look of things, from the things I'm seeing, it will not work. So it is easy for those in relationship to detect something and say that this relationship cannot lead to marriage. But what of those that are already in the marriage? That is the problem. It gives them brain damage, because you want your marriage to work. More especially those in church. You don't want to bring it outside. You don't even want people to know this is what you are going through, because you don't want to bring it outside, which is good. You keep compressing it. You keep compressing it. The more you compress it, the more it is giving you another imagination. As it's giving you another imagination, it is transforming you into who you are not. Before you know what is happening, brain damage. That is why it is very, very bad. You see, domestic violence, be it physical, in any way, it is very, very bad. So I think that we need to do better. So today I want to also talk about how can you prevent this domestic violence. Let me start from those that are still single. Because those that are still single, you cannot tell me now that anybody is holding you on chain. If you are still single, you are in a relationship, this is where another problem is coming from. Do you know, I do tell people, I don't understand what this generation is really dating for. Whether they are dating for money, they are dating for sex, I don't, cars, gifts, like yesterday was Lover Day, which even today the Lover Day is still in existence. You see people in relationship, I love you, I love you. I do ask, in this dispensation, what are people really dating for? That is the question I'm trying to understand. You know what? If you can actually set your priority right, you won't tell me that you don't see red flags. There are people that are already in a relationship where they are experiencing domestic violence. Remember, go back to the other videos. I said domestic violence is not only beating. I highlighted it in yesterday's teaching. You're already in relationship. This is where, if we talk about how to handle domestic violence, we have to start it. I have talked about parental upbringing towards their children. Now, I want to address, based on those that are still single, you are in relationship. You can't tell me that you are not seeing red flags. Some people are into relationship. They are being violated emotionally. They are being abused in one way or the other. They are still in the relationship. They are seeing the whole red signs. But tomorrow they will end up in marriage. I do ask myself, what are people really dating? Do they actually understand the meaning of dating and courtship? Did they really understand? Dating is like you are trying to study this person, but they will study the person. In fact, they are not studying. I don't know whether it is money, sex that is blinding their eye. As long as the man is giving it them, ta 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 ta. As long as the man is giving it to them, ta 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 ta, they'll tell you that guy is so sweet on bed, and you forget that it's not only ta 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 for bed that you are going to be eating. Or the man is like giving them, let me just say this story that just came to my mind. Years ago, when I was in university, in my lodge, there is this particular lady that was there, I will not just mention the name, that was dating a uniform man. She was dating a uniform man. And this uniform man made her comfortable. The uniform man made her comfortable financially. The way she was living, she was really, really living big during the time we were in school. But there's something that always happened. This uniform man sometimes beats her up, flog her. They are dating. The uniform man wants to marry her. The uniform man, I don't want to mention the particular uniform, but he's the first person. The first man will beat her, flog her sometimes, even in the hostel. Because our hostel is not like the hostel built by the school. No, it's individual houses. They build it so that students can actually live in it. So we are seeing all these things. We were just looking at this lady. He will beat this lady. After beating her the other time, he beat this lady and took the lady to hospital. After he took the lady to hospital, the lady recovered. He bought phone. That time was the time BlackBerry was really much in existence. He bought the lady some raining things that time. She made the lady comfortable and tell the lady the story. The relationship continued. One day she beat the lady to stupor. Blood was coming out from her nose from different parts. I asked the lady, don't be offended though. This person is not your brother. She said yes. I said, do you want to marry this person? She said yes, so she want to marry the man. That the man loves her so much. I should forget about the beatings. A lot of people are like that. A lot of people are like that. She said, I should forget about the beating. The man loves her so much. The man cares for her. The moment she said like that, I was just quiet. Do you know that marriage, we were in school? Because that was our early stage of university time, that time, or the middle. But we were still in school. She got married because the man had been beating her in the relationship. The beating became a norm. Even in marriage, even while pregnant, the man was still beating her. In fact, the moment she entered the marriage, it's as if the beating doubled. She now began to complain. But I told her that, I ask you, this man that is already beating you like this, in relationship, that is not yet married to you, that have not paid your dowry, why do you want to end up marrying him? You say that he's a good man, he loves you. Now, why are you married to him and you are complaining over the same beating he have been beating you in relationship? At that point, she gets frustrated. The reality of life begin to turn on her. A lot of people are like that. Even there are people that are still seeing this video. There are people that are watching me now. They are into one relationship or the other. The man is either abusing them emotionally, abusing them in sex, abusing them in one thing or the other. They are not yet married though, but they still want to end up with that man. Now let me ask you, why will you see all these signs and you still go ahead to marry this person? What are you thinking? Are you thinking that a man that is beating you now will stop beating you in marriage? No, answer me. A man that is already beating you now, do you think that when you now marry this man, that the man will stop beating you? The beating will increase. I want you to know so. The beating will increase. Now, I want to also ask you a question. A man that you're already having sex with, I'm already seeing somebody saying me, sex is always good for the relationship. Keep eating now. Shebi is sweet for the relationship. Now, I want to ask you, a man that you are in relationship with is abusing you sexually. I'm not talking about having sex. There is sexual abuse. I explained it yesterday. I'm not going over to that. Go back to that video and watch it. I explained sexual abuse. Now, this one is in relationship with you. You're already experiencing sexual abuse. Or, as a man, you're already experiencing sexual abuse in the hand of this lady. You are not yet married. And you still want to end up with that kind of person. Tomorrow, you start looking for therapists. You start looking for people that you will talk to. This is what I'm going through in my marriage. Whereby, while you were dating, you saw all these things, but you ended up marrying the person. So if we must talk about handling domestic violence, it has to start from a place of dating, courtship. Know who you are marrying. Know the person you want to go into marriage with. What are the signs you're already seeing in that relationship? The things you're seeing in that relationship, can you be able to cope? I always say it, a man that is beating you now will not stop. He will continue to beat you tomorrow. It takes the grace of God for him to stop beating you. Or a lady, there are women that beat the man. Oh. There are ladies that can beat up a man. In as much as we are talking about, whenever we are talking about beating, people always say it's men. There are women that beat their husband. Too bad. In fact, there are women that, if you see the way they beat the man, you begin to ask yourself, is this one still a woman? Did this man actually use his money to marry this thing and keep in the house? So there are women that also abuse their husband, that beat up their husband. So if you're in a relationship, you're already seeing any kind of abuse, like I mentioned yesterday, and you are still there, you end up marrying the person. That is the way you create room for more domestic violence. While I was talking about sexual abuse yesterday, I made mention of that. Sexual abuse is always attached with physical abuse. Most times, whenever sexual abuse is involved, if care is not taken, physical abuse is also there. I no want. Why? You go want am by force. You don't want what? You will need it. You will need it. Let me marry you this. I am your husband. You will do what I want to do. Bah. It have increased. It's no longer sexual abuse, but physical abuse with sexual abuse joined together. Maybe while you were dating, you saw all these signs. Oh, the money, more especially my women. My women love money. We love money, including me. I like money. No doubt, everybody like money, right? But I want you, while you are liking the money, enjoying the money, don't allow the money to blindfold you. Don't allow the money to cover your eyes. The things you are supposed to see, you are seeing it, but you are behaving like I'm not seeing it. You know why? You see marriage. Love is blind. Love is blind. They are taking you to every sport, any new one happening in town. The guy will take you, he will buy you shawarma, he will buy you lollipop, he will buy you this one. What are the names? He will buy you everything. Very good and fine. Enjoy it all. But while you are enjoying the things they are giving to you, make sure your eyes is open. Make sure that love does not blind you while you are dating. Make sure that love, this thing you people say love is blind. Make sure that the love is not blinding you in dating. You know why? If you allow love to blind you in dating, marriage will open your eyes. Marriage will open your eyes. And by the time marriage open your eyes, you will cry. Sometimes your cry, nobody will hear it. Nobody will hear that you are. People know that you are crying, but your cry, nobody will hear it. Because you saw the signs, you walk into it. So if you are talking about handling domestic violence as a single person, who is that person you are dating? Who is that man you are dating? Who is that lady you are dating? Know them. More when you are dating, make sure you don't silence some signs, some red flag. Make sure you don't silence it. No matter how sweet she is on bed, men, take note. She they give it to me, 360 degrees. 90 degrees. She sabi turn. She sabi twerk. She sabi bend over. She is bending over, giving you all styles. You are enjoying it. Make sure that you don't silence the red flags. Because if you silence the red flags in marriage, you see that 360 degrees, you see that 90 degrees, you will get tired of it. You see that thing you are liking, enjoying now, you will get fed up of it in marriage. Yes. In fact, you even see all the shape. This shape, man, listen, this shape you are seeing now, you are doing like this. All your body is vibrating. You will still see the same shape while she is married to you. You will not ask yourself, why did I even get myself into? You will just be looking at the shape. That shape that was vibrating, you will not ask yourself, how did I even end up with this kind of thing? How did I even end up marrying this thing? She's no longer baby, sugar pie, she has become this thing. No, you saw the signs, but you highlighted them. Because she's giving you 300 degrees. She can twerk, she can bend over. She can, as you are doing it, she can dance different kinds of dance. It's very, very good though. Any day I will handle sex position, all those. Enjoy, sex is good. I get what I'm saying? But it is best in marriage. Sex is best in marriage. But I'm not going there. What I'm focusing on. Don't highlight the red flags. Don't highlight the red flags. Don't behave that you are not seeing them. Don't behave that you didn't notice it. And you ended up, maybe because of the enjoyment, the pleasures of the sex, the way she is giving it to you, or he's not even only ladies. There are men that are, will I say that they have degree in ta. You know what I mean by ta. There are men that have degree. They give it to you. You shout, what is my name? You will not be thinking about your name because they don't give you ta. You are no longer remembering your name. What you now know is ta. There are men that are professional. So if you are dating such a man and you are already sleeping, you're already eating the forbidden apple, you're already sleeping, what you should be doing ta in marriage, you're already eating it now, enjoying all the enjoyables you should be doing in your marriage. Don't forget the red flags outside the ta he's giving to you, because it's not only ta. You are going to eat in marriage. You will face reality in marriage. Marriage has to do with realities. Marriage has to do with realities. It comes to a point that fantasies stop. More especially the moment your marriage begin to hit 3 to 5 years, fantasies begin to drop. Fantasies begin to drop. You begin to face reality. The moment you enter marriage and your marriage begin to clock 3 to 5 years, fantasies begin to drop. The reality of marriage begin to step in. That is it. So while you are dating someone, don't silence all these things. Now, another thing I want to talk about here, if we are talking about handling domestic violence, anger management. I somehow mentioned it yesterday in the course of domestic violence. Also here, for us to handle domestic violence, we need to look into anger management, or you call it temperament control. Anger management or temperament control. Anger management. And let me tell you something. Issues that always come up in marriage most times is as a result of one partner not being able to control his or her anger. One partner unable to control his or her anger. And if you're always unable to control your anger all the time, you're unable to control your anger, your marriage will always be having issues. So let me tell you, see, anger management is something you have to be intentional, more especially if you are a hot-tempered somebody. You are a lady, you are hot-tempered. You are a man, you are hot-tempered. You have to consciously begin to work on your temperament. Now, while you are consciously working on your temperament, ask the Holy Spirit to help you. Ask the Holy Spirit to direct you. Ask the Holy Spirit to control your emotions, your anger. You need to have control over your emotions, because anger is something. There are people that they are angry like devil. They are angry like devil. Their anger is like that of the devil. There are people like that. Their anger is like that of the devil. If your angry or your anger level is like that of the devil, I pity your marriage. So if you must handle or prevent domestic violence in your home, you must bring your anger under subjection, under control. And you cannot just do that on your own. You have to ask God to help you. I'm telling you. If you're a hot-tempered somebody, sometimes, being hot-tempered can be hereditary. It can be hereditary. Either your father or your mother is coming from somewhere. It's not something that you just wake up and develop anger. No, it's something that has to be genetic. Maybe you have this anger issue. Maybe in your family, either your mother or your father, somebody have anger issue. So they think it is genetic. Sometimes anger issue is genetic. So if you notice that you are a hot-tempered somebody, you need to consciously work on it and ask God to help you. If not, it will destroy your home. Most times, people that are unable to manage their anger, they always experience domestic violence. Don't forget it. That is why you need to be conscious about working on your anger management or temperament control. And that will lead me not marrying one of the same temperament with you. Yes, that leads me to the next one. Because you need to work on your temperament. If you are still single, now let me talk to working on your temperament is for those that are already in marriage. You're already married, so you have to consciously ask God to help you to manage your anger so that it will not shipwreck your marriage. Now that leads me to not marrying one of the same temperament with you. If you must handle domestic violence, or you don't want to experience it, or you want to prevent it to a particular level. Because sometimes in marriage, I want you to understand, if you go through the domestic violence or abuse I mentioned yesterday, in one way or the other, each marriage have one or the other they are facing. There is no marriage that is totally free from abuse. The only thing is that there are people their own is mild. There are people their own there is under control. It happens, but they put it under control. But when it becomes excessively, it can no longer be controlled. Somebody is already going. Somebody is already getting drained. That is when you now begin to raise alarm. And that is the one that can lead to death, lead to, mental instability, different things. But I want you to understand that every marriage have one abuse or the other they are going through, directly or indirectly. But the difference is that maybe it is under control. Because I always tell people marriage is a work. You see, marriage is a work, it's a heavy work, a big duty. So not marrying one of the same temperament. So if you're single, you're still single. You have the opportunity. You should know your temperament. Are you that type that always, whoa, 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 you are anger, you are hot-tempered? Know the person you are going to marry with. Don't go and marry somebody that is hot-tempered like you. You people will burn down house. You people will burn down the house. So if you go and marry, you are hot-tempered somebody, and you go and marry somebody that is hot-tempered, there is trouble. Yes. Most times, watch some marriages. The man might be hot-tempered, the woman is calm. Or the woman is hot-tempered, the man is calm. For instance, if you notice, if you look at me, you will know the way I'm already talking. Now, I know my personality, I know my temperament, I'm outspoken, I know the kind of woman I am, I know my mechanism. The person I marry is a man that he doesn't talk. In fact, you hardly see him on social media. He's not a drama person. In fact, he hardly talk, the one I'm married. But you see the way my mouth is doing, I am outspoken. Imagine now, I'll go and marry somebody that is, we'll be talking and talking in the house. Nobody will listen to each other. That is the problem. Imagine the way I am outspoken, I am talking, I will not go and marry my type that who will not listen to each other. Sometimes I will be the storyteller. I am always the storyteller. In my marriage, I'm always the one telling stories. I will tell stories, I'll tell stories. I can be talking, my husband is a good listener. He'll just be listening. It will shock you that all those things I'm saying, he might just only drop 2 or 3 comments. All those things I have been saying for 2-3 hours, the man will just respond, drop comment of 2 or 3. Although all the thing I have been saying for long, but he listens very well. Now imagine that I'm talking, nobody's listening to me, and I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying, but you does not pay attention. You are talking at the same time. What do you think that will happen? I like when I'm talking, I want you to listen. That is my mechanism, part of my mechanism. Now I will now go and marry somebody that whenever I'm talking, the person is talking. And I want you to listen. You know, little things can cause domestic violence. I'm just using this thing as an example. You should be able to know your mechanism, know your personnel, know the kind of person you are. It will help you to know the person you are going to marry. So that you don't marry, you are the type that if you are angry here, you want to burn down the house. You tell them, you don't need to tell them, you go and bring fuel, you bring matches, and a tanker that is coming to quench fire is coming. You bomb the tanker, everything. If you are that type that your anger is like that, don't you ever dare and marry somebody that is like that. If you end up marrying somebody that is like that, I pity your marriage. Your marriage might have issue. Now, if you're a quiet person, don't go and marry always a quiet person. Whatever thing that have advantage has a disadvantage. For instance, there was a time when I got married newly. I discovered something. My husband is a quiet person. He doesn't like drama. He doesn't like issues. He doesn't even want you to be putting him on public. That's why a lot of people don't know him. I now discovered that he's the type that, because of his calmness, his quietness, some people that are really, there are people that doesn't have good training. Some people can actually want to take advantage of his calmness, his quietness. I discovered such when he married me newly. When I discovered such, I said, if we continue in this marriage, there is going to be trouble. Because of his calmness, some people were taking advantage. And I was like a newly wife then. I was trying to be a good woman. I was trying not to have a bad name. But it got to a point. The lioness in me arose. I said, wait, for this marriage, I stood my ground. If you are coming, you think that nobody is in this house. For instance, you think that nobody is in this house. Because the person you know that is existing in this house is a quiet person. And we are not coming, asking, who did this house? I will tell you that somebody there will don't cross. I will tell you, who is that? Somebody is in this house, does cross. So, Bob, you might think that, I don't need to. I know that one. He's quiet. He's calm. I can do and get away with it. But because of my own kind of person, because I'm not a quiet type, I will always roar. I will ask you, waiting. What? So, what am I trying to say? If you are getting married, if you're a quiet type, don't just look for a quiet type, because in some occasions, you people need to blend. There are some things that might happen, there are some things that might come up in the marriage. Quietness is not needed. It needs someone that is vocal, someone that can talk, someone that can say some things. There are some issues that might come up, not necessarily between you and your partner, but there are other extended issues that might come up. That if you are marrying a quiet person, you need someone that is vocal, that is outspoken, that can actually be on that matter, and that matter can get solved. That you need someone that is outspoken, that people can actually say, this one, no. There is some matters that need quiet people to handle it. There is a matter that we need someone that is outspoken, someone that people will look at and say, this one, be careful of her, be careful of him. So you should know the person you are getting married to. If you are a quiet person, look for somebody that is not too quiet, so that people will not put finger into your eyes. Did you hear that? Yes. So there should be blending. There should be blending in choosing who to marry. And another thing I want to mention here is forgiveness. If you want to talk about handling, please, anywhere you're joining me, do well, help me share. Help me share. Help me share. Let me see if there are questions before I go further. Let me see if there are people that just ask me some questions. If you have your question, say ask me. Ask me a question. Let me go through my distance to know if there are some questions before I continue. Before I continue, I need to find out if there are people that sent some question via comment section. If there is any question you sent to me, let me read to know. Let me read to know. Let me read to know. I'm trying to get the question, the comment section. This one, my comment section is not really coming out. What's happened? I'm not seeing comment section from here. Is there anybody? Let me see if I can see it from the one I'm using, from the gadget I'm using. If you have any question, drop for me. If you have any question, drop for me. I'm trying to see if people are asking me questions. Any question maybe you want to ask concerning the relationship or what we have been handling. If there is any question, you can drop it. Let me see if I can see it from the gadget I'm using. I think that I can see it. I'm not seeing it. No question yet. If there is a question, you let me know, so that you drop the question on comment section so that I can give you answer. Because I want to move into the next one. Please, if you are joining me, you have not subscribed to my channel, it's a good opportunity for you to subscribe to my channel. Subscribe right now. Subscribe. I want to see people loving. Nobody is loving my video. People are just listening to my teachings without loving. Why now? You people are just watching my teachings, enjoying my teachings, without subscribing to my channel, without giving me love tongue. Nobody is giving me love. Nobody is subscribing. Nobody is showing me love. Please, if you have a question, you let me know. If you have a question, drop it on comment section. I'm trying to attend to 1 or 2 questions. Either in your relationship or in marriage, feel free. Or if there is need, maybe you want to contact me for a special guide on relationship or marriage, do a look out for my WhatsApp line. I don't really like dropping emails these days, because a lot of people can use that email to do you what you don't understand. So I don't like dropping my email. But you can try to get my WhatsApp line. If there is need for you to reach out to me, get my WhatsApp line. I think my WhatsApp line is +234 8135 394371. Please don't call the line. If you call the line, nobody will pick. If you have need, you want to talk to me concerning your relationship or your marriage, I said I don't like dropping email. Because email these days, you might drop email, it becomes another thing. All these people will use your email to do you what you don't understand. I don't want anybody to, So I think best, if you have need to contact me, do that on WhatsApp. my WhatsApp line. So don't call the line. If you call the line, nobody will pick. The thing is that I don't even know where that phone is. But the number is connected to other device, one other device I have. So, but the phone number, if you are calling it, nobody will pick. So if you have need to contact me for your relationship, for your marriage, do that on WhatsApp. And let your writing to me is not official, I will not respond to you. I will not attend to your message. So if you are writing for me on WhatsApp, make sure it is official. Go straight to your point. If you ask silly question, nobody will respond to you. So the WhatsApp line again is +234 81 35 39 43 71. I think I'm supposed to have pinned it somewhere. +234 81 35 39 43 71. So if there is need, you can contact us via that WhatsApp line. Since there is no question yet, let me continue. So the next way to handle domestic violence is forgiveness. Forgiveness. But for those that are single, there are things that, in as much as you forgive, that does not mean that you will continue with that relationship to end up in marriage. Singles, are you people hearing what I'm saying? Like I'm saying now, if you want to handle domestic violence, any kind of domestic violence, one of the ways, one of the mechanisms, one of the things that will help you to overcome is forgiveness. And I'm saying that if you're a single person, there are things in relationship you should forgive, but the moment you forgive, that doesn't mean that the relationship must end in marriage. There are things that, this person offended me, this person hurt me, but I have forgiven you. But looking at this particular thing, I can't cope with it. There is tendency that this is your personality. This is your real you. This is who you are. And if I eventually marry you, I can't be able to cope. You forgive and don't continue with the marriage. But if you're already marrying, you're already married in marriage, your marriage is already existing, my dear, you continue to forgive. You continue to forgive and be intentional not to be hurting your partner. Forgiveness, and always be intentional not to be hurting your partner. Because you can't be talking about handling domestic violence, abuse, without talking about consistent forgiveness and your willingness to stop hurting your partner. Because if I forgive you today, I'll forgive you tomorrow. I'll keep forgiving you. And you keep doing that thing you are doing. And I'm forgiving you. You keep hurting me. I am a human being. At some point, I'll get tired. I'm not getting tired that I will not forgive you. I will forgive you. But my tired is that I am fed up with this situation. Not that I'm holding grudges against you. But because of my own sanity, for my own sanity, I will tell you, this is enough. I don't want more of it again. You see why domestic violence most times, either emotional, sexual, physical, most times it leads to divorce. Most times it leads to divorce. Because at that point, you have been forgiven, but the person you are forgiving, you keep forgiving. No? Yes, the person you are forgiving is not willing to stop hurting you. And the moment this person is not willing to stop, you will keep forgiving, not that you hold grudges. But you get to a point that you want your sanity. You want peace. You are fed up. You are tired. That is where the extent that you begin to see people, they say they are tired of the marriage. You even try to prescribe the whole therapy that can help them in marriage. They will tell you that no, it's a no. It can't work again. They are tired. They are fed up. They have been forgiven. But the one they are forgiving, the one that is hurting them, is not ready to amend. Is not ready to change. Is not ready to stop hurting them. So if you must talk about handling domestic violence in your home, you must forgive and be willing to stop hurting your partner. Mistake can happen. You can actually make mistake, but don't allow it to be part of you. And another thing is learning to say sorry. I use the word learning to say sorry because there are people that it is difficult for them to say, I am sorry. They can't even say, I'm sorry. More especially, it has to do with men. Men find it difficult to say, I'm sorry. Most men, if you're waiting for a man to tell you, I'm sorry, you're wasting your time. and your age. Most men will not tell you, I am. My network is really, really fluctuating. Can you people see me? My network is fluctuating. There are men that cannot tell you verbally, I'm sorry. But their body language can actually tell you that they are sorry. So if you are married already, you should be able to understand the way your partner says, I am sorry. More especially men. Most times their ego as men doesn't allow them to say, I am sorry when they offend you. That is why I use the word learning to say, I am sorry. Because in marriage, if you must handle domestic issues, problems, bobo tibo, all those things, you must be able to always say, I am sorry. I am sorry should be a language in your marriage. That is why I say learning. If it's a difficult thing for you, you should be intentional about saying, I am sorry, either as a man, as a woman. Now, I say that most times men find it difficult to say, I am sorry. It's not their fault. The problem is that the ego they have as man, as a man, as men, makes them not to easily say, I'm sorry. But some of them have body language, have their pattern of saying, I'm sorry. There are some men, the moment they offend you, they will buy you gifts. Their gift is telling you, I'm sorry. But if you are waiting for them to tell you, I'm sorry, you will never see it. You will never hear it from them. But them buying you gifts is their own way of telling you, I am sorry. So you should be able to know the language, the sorry language of your partner. Yes. You should be able to know the sorry language of your partner. If he's more especially men, if your husband's sorry language is buying you gifts, accept it. That is his own way of saying, I am sorry. If his own way is like, he begin to behave in a particular manner, there's a way a man will behave. You know that this man is actually sorry of what he did. There's a way he will talk. There's some men who will not tell you I'm sorry. They will just touch you. They just try to pet you. You know, they will forget that thing now. You know, they don't just want to be open to tell you I'm sorry. If your own husband is that he is not buying you gift, but he will just display some attitude to tell you that I am sorry, you should be able to understand his sorry language and accept it. That will help your marriage, and that will help you out of domestic violence. Because you know, when issues are piling up, it will get to a point, one person might explode. Domestic violence will start. So if you can actually do this, it will help you. And another thing I want to talk is that, now, okay, I want to move into the next one. I say, if you do all these things I have mentioned so far, but it's as if nothing is changing yet, then you go over to the next one. All these things I just said, you know, to help your marriage, you know, out of domestic violence or to prevent it. If you have done the things I just mentioned so far, but it's as if nothing is working yet, now we go over to calling the attention of the elders, either in church or kindred. Calling the attention. If you are noticing some issues in your marriage, you have worked on your anger, you know the person you are married, you are doing your best, you are forgiving, you know, you have done most of the things I mentioned, but it's as if that this your partner is not changing, nothing is changing, that issue is a kind of draining. Then I said, calling the attention of the elders, either in church or kindred, can help to save. For instance, a lady that is married and her husband is beating her. First of all, I don't advise you to carry your bag and go. Yes. As a pastor, do I preach against divorce? No. Do I support divorce? No. Did you hear that? As a pastor, do I preach against divorce? No. Do I support divorce? No. Because I know there are matters that will get to an extent. Divorce could be the only option. But before you get there, you have done the first part I mentioned, but as if nothing is happening. Now, then you move to the next step. Have you seen that it's not something that will happen? You just carry your bag. I'm leaving. I don't want to marry again. No. You must do the necessary thing as you can. When there is no other alternative, and the only option is separation and divorce, I don't have issues with that. So I said that if you have done the things I mentioned so far for now, and it's as if nothing is happening, call the attention of the elders, either in church or in kindred. I think a lady that the husband is beating, maltreating, or the woman that is maltreating the husband, if you call the elders and the elders step into the matter and give terms and conditions, that can help to stop that beating. Yes, that can help to an extent. There are people that the moment you call them to order, their senses will be reset. But if you just leave them, you are talking as the wife, you are talking as the husband, they refuse to change. But the moment you involve the elders give them some conditions, the church, either the church elders or the kindred elders, they give them some rules, some conditions. If they are the type that is beating their wife, they will stop to an extent. Another one I say is, if you call the elders, either elders of the church or the kindred, they come into the matter. Another step you should also take to help you solve or handle domestic violence is signing of some documents. Signing of some documents. Let me tell you, I know that all of us, more especially this country where we are, where I am, I can talk about my country, I don't know for others. If somebody threatens your life, you go to police station, they call the person, sometimes they ask the person to write an undertaking, right? That undertaking is that nothing happens to this person. This thing you say will not happen. The person will just write undertaking. So if there is domestic violence in your home, you have done the things I mentioned, nothing is happening, call the attentions of the elders, either in church or in kindred. Then after doing that, or while the process of calling the elders is going on, make sure the person signs some documents. More especially something that has to do with beating, yes, physical abuse. Make sure that the person who is abusing you, signs some document. Because if you just tell him, go, don't beat her again, or go, don't beat him again, it's not enough. Because something might come up tomorrow. It is just a mere word. The person will still beat. But when some things are signed, it has a way of restricting the person. Even if the person, the hand is always telling him or her, beat, the person will always remember, I signed something, there is something I signed. And if I actually beat this person, and this thing I signed, they bring it out, there is trouble for me. It has a way of restricting the person from going ahead with that physical abuse. So that is why in my work in this relationship matter, I do provide it as a kind of mechanism therapy to help couples who are already having domestic or experiencing domestic violence. Because if your partner is beating you, signing things will help. And after that, the next one you do is deliverance. That is where I'll be concluding this teaching for now. Relationship matter is something that you cannot overemphasize. There is a lot to it because on daily basis you have cases that can lead you into multiple or dimensions of relationship or marriage matters. So, but I'll be stopping here. Deliverance. You have done all these things, but it seems things are still going wrong. Or while you are doing those things, you also need to take spiritual steps. You need to take spiritual steps. I'm not just only a marriage or relationship counselor, I'm also a pastor. So that is why I have to bring in deliverance, spirituality into it. Because everything is not just attitude. There are things that involve demons. There are things that involve spirits. So while you are doing the necessary things I have mentioned so far in human knowledge, while you are doing the things I have said so far, there is also need for you to look inward. There is also need for you to follow the spiritual aspect of it. Genesis chapter 1 verse 27 says, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female. He created them. Did you hear that? He created him, male and female. So it is the desire of God for a man and a woman to be together. So, and I want you to understand that any place where there is peace, devil is not always comfortable. Devil is not always happy that these people are experiencing peace. Imagine you and your husband or your wife is in the house. Everybody is eating, laughing, and devil is like, why would they be laughing? Why would they be happy? The next thing, devil is looking for a way to project anger, project issues. That happiness that the family are enjoying, there will be catastrophe. There will be issues. Devil does not, and when the devil was asked, where are you going? He said, I'm walking through and through. Devil does not have base. So he's just looking for an opportunity to strike, an opportunity to scatter things. So if while you are doing all these things, also look inward spiritually. It is the mind of God for a man and a woman to live together as husband and wife and to live in harmony. When you trace it back, when God created Adam in the garden, he created every animal. But after creating the animal, he discovered that these animals are not good for Adam. I need to make something that look like Adam, something that can actually relate with Adam. He created Eve. And in the garden, we didn't hear that Adam was beating Eve. We didn't hear that Eve was insulting Adam. We didn't hear that Eve was disrespecting. Though devil came and Eve began to misbehave. Yes. But where I am trying to focus and where I am going is, when God created Adam and Eve, they were staying peacefully. They were in peace. So it is the mind of God. It is the desire of God for you and your husband to be in peace. So when you must have done all these things, but it's as if nothing is working, go spiritual. Pray more. Let your knees be on ground. Let me tell you something. A praying woman can change anything. A praying person, but I know why I use a woman. A praying person can change anything. So if you think that the issue in your marriage is your wife, you can actually change things on your knees. You think this issue is your husband, you can change things on your knees. It's not actually your husband, it's not actually your wife. You attack this, you tackle the spirit behind those things. So why, if you're talking about handling domestic violence, why you have taken care of all these things I mentioned, make sure you take it spiritually. Always pray. And in that spiritual aspect of it, deliverance, spiritual aspect of this handling domestic violence, please, a family that prays together, stays together, they live in peace, they experience progress. I always admonish marriages, couples, more especially Christian couples. No matter how busy you are, make sure you pray together. You might not understand it. Your praying together can actually bring deliverance to your spouse. In fact, even if it is morning devotion, make sure that your family do devotion together. You might not know how God can use devotion, I know what I'm saying, to deliver either your husband or your wife. But in a family, more especially Christian family, where the husband, you're on your own, sometimes they don't even pray. The wife on his own, on her own, children on their own, they don't even come together to pray. Devil can easily enter that family. Devil can do them underground. So in your family, make sure you pray together. You study the word of God together. Even if you don't have, no matter how busy you are, at least devotion is very, very important. Devotion, praying together in the morning as family, as husband and wife. And I want you to understand that if you are couples that understand spiritual things and you are holding hands together with your husband, with your wife, there is nothing that you people cannot change. You see, unity. Unity is a force. Unity is powerful. And that is what the devil does not want in homes. Remember, families that are united, that are peaceful. For instance, you come to a church, we have family of 20. And in that family of 20, let me just say 18 or all of them are in unity. Don't you know that we have a successful church? But whereby devil is attacking homes, the same way devil is attacking the church, because he sees those same families that is still coming to the church. I pray that the Lord deliver homes in the name of Jesus. In this season, may the Lord deliver marriages. May the Lord settle every issue in our homes in the name of Jesus Christ. So spiritual aspect of it, in as much as things are happening in your marriage, don't just only focus your attention on the problems, the issues, the attitude of your partner. Also look at it from the perspective of the spiritual. If your eyes is being open spiritually and God show you just a clip of things happening, how the devil is working against home, you will now understand that I have to take my prayer altar serious. Yes, you pray for your husband, you pray for your wife, you pray for your children. I do tell, sometimes they'll ask me in the house, do you pray for everything? Everyone around me, even the people living with me, they ask it's like you pray for everything. I say I pray. Because you don't know when the devil is, whether the devil is still doing rehearsal by the left mark time, and the devil is trying to see opportunity to move. So I pray for everything. So if you're a praying person, not just praying for cars, houses, just see your marriage. My marriage need to work. Always put your marriage into prayers. Pray for your husband, pray for your children, pray for your wife, pray for the success of the family. Pray for your children. Your children, they will not have vagabond spirits. Pray that your children, while they are going to school, they will learn. Pray that they will not cause you sorrow. You pray for everything. You pray for the success of your husband, for the success of your wife. So while you are doing all these things, make sure you also go spiritual. I believe that this have helped somebody. I believe that this have helped somebody. So I need to run this up. God bless you. I didn't see anybody that asked me question. I think I have to call it a day. Our program ended today. It's a 2 days program. It started yesterday. So you can actually go on my handle. The teachings are there on live program. You will see it there. God bless you for joining. I can actually mention names. Everybody that joined, anywhere you joined from, God bless you. Those that watch from Nigeria, you watch from UK, you watch from America, Asia, any part of the world you watch from, or you will watch later. God bless you. God bless you. In case you're asking, who is she? I am your sex pastor, Johnmii. Your sex pastor, Johnmii. I believe that this 2 days teaching helps somebody. Please help me. What you would do is that share our videos. Share our videos. The video you share can actually deliver somebody. Yes. And as you share the video, as you comment, as you encourage people to follow this channel, because this is a channel that can actually help their marriage physically, emotionally, and spiritually. God bless you as you encourage people. So it's our marriage matters for this period, Valentine's season of love. It started yesterday. 2 days program, it ended today. God bless you so much for being part of it. God bless you for joining. God bless you for sharing. God bless you for encouraging, because if nobody is watching me, I think this teaching will not make sense. A lot of people watch, they go out, they come back, they watch. Thank you for being part of it. Please do subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remain blessed. Remain blessed.